What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Know Your Worth TV. I'm your host, Efrain, guys. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you want to subscribe because we're having dope interviews, still in collaboration with Content Creators Experience, highlighting more amazing women. I love it, man. I love that we're just highlighting these ladies. We're really giving them a platform to share who they are, what they do in the community. I appreciate the opportunity from Content Creators EXP. But today we have another special, amazing woman, and she's going to go ahead and introduce herself, what she does in the community, how you can find her, and things like that. So, Miss Morine, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. You look great. I love you got the
Thank
business
you.
attire going. Got her nice little
Right.
backdrop going.
Yes. So my name is Attorney Morine Etienne. I'm located in Miami, Florida. I'm a business and entertainment attorney. Social media is attorney.maureen.etienne as it's spelled out on the screen. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, I help creatives, entrepreneurs, and entertainers with protecting their brand.
Nice, love it. How did this all get started? Let's talk about that. How did you even decide that this is the
Whew.
avenue you wanted to take in life?
You know what? I really do think I'm where I'm supposed to be. As people ask me that, I think deeper and I'm like, wow, it's so many things in my background that kind of literally like it makes sense why you're here. So let's backtrack. In college, I wanted to be a business major. So I chose that to be my major, and I actually dropped out of being a business major because I found out that one of the courses that was required, you had to dress up every Wednesday in a suit. And being a broke college freshman, I'm like, I don't own any business attire. I don't have money to be, having different looks every week. So I was like, let me just go and decide it. I'll go jump back to business later. I never actually did. In watching one of the TV shows on campus where it was student ran, it was Chicken Wednesday, interviews in the cafeteria, and someone was interviewing a freshman, and they were like, "Hey, what's your major?" He said mass communications. Like, oh, so you want to be like me and interview? I was like, oh, you can go to school for that. So I was always interested in the media entertainment world, and so that sparked my decision to be a mass comm major. So I have experience in really photography. I really forgot about that. I had took a photography course. I was a photographer for my school's newspaper. I was a radio personality at our school's radio. I took audio production and video production courses. So I've always been in that entertainment space. And afterwards, it was like, okay, you don't need a master's for this. What else would you do? And discovering the business and entertainment law side, I was like, okay, I was interested in it, but I wasn't 100%. So my first job out of college, I worked for the state attorney's office, and I realized, yeah, I don't like this. So I'm gonna stick with the business entertainment side, and that was my focus in law school. And once I got into it with my internships, I never looked back. So I think it's exactly where I'm supposed to be. Because I think I have a creative background, but I'm channeling it just in a different direction.
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely seems like you love entertainment. You've been doing it for a long time. And you figured out how you can assist in a different avenue for
Mhm.
sure. How crazy life works, right? That you were kind
Right.
of in this industry. You probably didn't even see past that. Like, this is it. This is what I love.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get in a place or you get in an opportunity that really starts to spark and makes your mind think differently, right?
Mhm.
How long have you been doing this now?
Not too long. My firm has been open a year and a half. So I'm still new. I'm really, really growing my business with my clients. So as they're starting their businesses, I'm growing right along with them, and we're kind of developing together. So it's kind of cool that I get that aspect of it as opposed to being a seasoned attorney, and it's kind of like one client after another. I'm experiencing it with them and kind of like am literally their biggest fan because I'm just excited to be doing what I love and to be helping and seeing their business from the time that they start with me to like their brand growing and the traction that they get and the multiple brands that develops into. So it's exciting for me.
No, it sounds exciting. Definitely. I mean, anytime you can help somebody, I think that's always exciting just to be able to help somebody on their journey and vice versa, right? They're kind of helping you on your journey. You're
Yep.
you're learning every single day. Every single client is it's a different, perspective of life and business and whatever the case it may be for you. Um, so kind of want to go back. So you were in school, you wanted to do business. You said, nah, I'm not dressing up on Wednesdays, right? That's what it was. I'm not dressing up on Wednesdays. Or it just at that moment maybe I couldn't afford to dress up on every
I
single
couldn't
Wednesday.
afford to dress up on Wednesday. But funny enough, having a business, being an attorney, having my own private practice, I'm a business owner. So like
Yeah.
it all came together full circle.
No, that's why I find it funny because you're dressed up today, and it's like this is what you
Yeah,
have to
right.
wear every single Wednesday.
I have a little bit more money than I did as a college freshman, so I can afford a little
Yeah.
suit.
No, that, and I like that. I like that, life has really led you into that to sometimes when you got to go through that to kind
Hmm.
of see things a little differently. Because it could have been that you went through all the way and then maybe you just didn't fall in love the way that you're in love with it now. And I like to actually have interviews and really get people to start thinking on that sense is that so many times we ask ourselves why, but if it didn't happen that way, would you be here today? Would you be able to do what you've been doing lately? So that's actually good. I love that, hopefully you're starting to like, oh, it does make sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Um, so why the niche of trademarks, copyright? Because that is actually very different when you talk to an attorney.
Hmm.
I meet so many people that do a lot of legal work, but not in the sense of trademark and copyright. And it looks like you also do some business entity formations as well. What led you down this niche?
Well, I never even knew all of that was involved in it. Remember, I told you I made a decision. I was working at state attorney's office before I started law school. I had no idea what courses or what areas of law included. I just knew I wanted to be a business lawyer. So when I got into it, I was like, "Huh, this is very interesting." And a lot of what I learned was in law school. So outside of that, I have the mindset, or I remember my mindset prior to, and I know that a lot of people just don't have the knowledge. When you talk about brand protection and me knowing what I know and how important it is, I'm like, man, before law school, I didn't know any of this. And I could have started off with a business, and sometimes you just don't know. So all of that entails in business law. And I found that out in law school. And of course, when you're actually doing it in person and in practice, it's different. And that's kind of how all of that comes together. So in business law and trademark law is a part of that. So in starting a business, those are very key aspects of protecting your brand with the trademarks, with the copyrights, with the business formation, and of course, everything involves contracts. So those are just the services and the areas of law that encompass the area of law that I wanted to practice. So yeah.
Nice. How long? So you went to school, you worked
Mhm.
at an actual office for someone, is that correct?
Um, After law school,
Yeah.
no,
You you
no.
you, sh-
Prior to
you
law school, I was at no. I went, yeah.
Wow. So you haven't even physically worked alongside somebody that's been doing it.
Anybody else as a licensed attorney? No, no.
Wow. How long ago
I
did
kind
you
of
finish
took
school?
that leap of faith. I not too long ago passed
Yeah.
the bar 2 years ago, and so I was like, I've been going through this journey for some time. I'm kind of ready. And so, crazy enough, back rewind maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, a friend of mine, she was like, "Hey, there's this attorney. She has this course, and I know you're interested in this area of law. Look it up." And so I joined her course, and her course pretty much broke down what she needed to, what those services and what she needed to do to be the type of lawyer that I wanted to be. And I was like, this is perfect. To this day, she's my mentor. And so I learned those skills without having to go through the process of working for someone else and getting that experience and things of that nature. So I had it. I just was waiting to actually get to the point of launching my firm. So once that happened, I didn't
Wow.
wait anymore. I was confident enough in myself to just go for it.
Yes. Congratulations on
Yeah.
that. So did this
Thank
happen like during pandemic time that you were able
Yep.
to go ahead and pass the bar? So
Yep.
what was the mindset at that time? Like you had this dream, pandemic hits, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, what do I
Yeah.
supposed to do at this point? What were you thinking at that time?
Um, I mean, I had a day job, and I say that I was independent contractor assisting on other cases. So I had that stability. So crazy enough, the pandemic affected me in a positive way. Working from home allowed me to have multiple streams of income and kind of stretch myself out. And so I had that safety net in knowing that I can launch my firm and still know that income is steady and secure. So I didn't have that concern. And of course, it's my dream. So I wanted to do well. And I found myself within like literally 30 days stressing out. And people are like, listen, you're not even a month in, like calm down. Like
Yeah.
you're expecting it to take off like this. I'm just impatient, you know, just when you really, really want something. And so I had to kind of like, listen, you're going through the woes of the first few years of starting a business, calm down, relax, and, you know, stay the course, do what you need to do, and, you know, focus on that while still maintaining my income that I had throughout the day. So yeah, I didn't have any fear. I didn't have any fear because
No
I knew
fear.
financially I was good, and I knew that this is going to happen. I have no other desire. This is just that.
Let's go. You speaking some good stuff right now. Yes, for sure.
Hmm.
So you finish school. Someone introduces you to who is now your mentor.
Hmm.
Um, Talk about that because people don't realize about investing in themselves. And I think you made an investment in yourself, right? You sat here
Yeah.
and this is what I wanted to do. A lot of people don't want to pay the price to get
Hmm.
educated. And you're not talking about school at this point. You're talking about like, listen, somebody that's knowledgeable can help you because sometimes we need that, right? We need somebody to hold our hands a little bit so we can go ahead and take those training wheels off and continue to move forward. So talk about how important it was that you did invest in yourself.
Oh my God, I saw it as like a great opportunity. My mentor had a similar story as me. So with her, she did even sooner, like straight out of law school, started her within a year, started her own firm, and was like, you know, I'm not gonna let anyone stop me. And because it's crazy. Any lawyer, whether they're a professor in law school or practicing, it's crazy to go out of school or be out of school, not have that experience at a firm, and then just start your own firm. That's not normal. And so since she did it, I'm like, okay, pretty confident in that. And I saw the opportunity, and I didn't even have the money. And I was like, okay, I need to take advantage of this. And so I called one of my brothers up. Before even finishing, he was like, what is the cost? I'm going to send it to you now. Because they all invested in my journey. And so whether it be a hotel to take the bar or whatever the case may be, they invested in my journey. So I'm like, I'm going to pay you back. He's like, listen, don't worry about it. What is the cost? I'm going to send it to you now. And I took that loan and I paid for it. And I think this happened like maybe during the end of the summer of that year. And when my income tax check came around, I sent the money back to my brother. He's like, I really wasn't expecting. I didn't really think that you were gonna pay me back. Not that you wouldn't, but I didn't care for you to do so. I was like, oh no, this was an investment, and yeah, I want to invest in myself. And thank you for investing in me. So that's how.
Wow.
It's yeah.
So you're the type of go getter, like, yo, whatever
Yeah.
I got to do, I got to get it done. I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and take
I'm
care of me.
tunnel vision. I'm tunnel vision when I'm locked in on something.
I love
So
it, man.
yeah.
That's. I mean, so far, just talking to you, just a little bit of time, I can definitely see that you have that tunnel vision, right? You're just motivated. There's no failing at this what I'm doing in this profession.
Hmm.
So did you feel that when you talk about taking courses, because some people don't want to take courses because they think it's like, maybe it's
Hmm.
not going to be worth it. You found it worth it.
Hmm. Absolutely. That saved me time because outside of that, I would have had to work for someone. Because what they say is when you're in law school, take advantage of the internships because once you get out, your competition. So it's not very often, unless you have a personal relationship with someone, that they're going to teach you those skills because you're the other attorney in that field, your competition. And so for me to be able to, I didn't mind paying for it. You know, I didn't mind paying for it and doing what I need to do. So you have to be, how badly do you want it? You have to kind of do a gut check. How badly do you want it? And do your research. You know, everything isn't for everybody. That situation just fell in my lap, and it was perfect timing. And like I said, she's my mentor today. And at this point, there's so many other attorneys who have taken her course, and we're like a little community. So any given day, you know, within that community, someone has the answers or the resource. Like we lean on each other. Hey, I have this case. What do you guys think about this? Someone will bounce another, you know, question off or give you a suggestion. Like, oh, okay. So, investing in that course wasn't just that course and it's over. I invested in a community and resources. So you really never know how far that investment is going to take you because it may just not stop at that course. You don't know who you're going to meet in that course or how impactful that person who has that course is going to be on your life. Like
I love it.
I wouldn't change anything about that.
I love it. And what you said there was community. So many people think that they do it, all alone.
Mm-mm.
How important is it to you right now to have a community? I mean, it seems like not just a community full of other attorneys, but really a community when your family and friends that are able to
Mhm.
really see the vision, that know your worth, and say, "Hey, I'm willing to go ahead and invest in you because I know you're going to do this. I know you're going to take care
Yeah.
of that." How important was it for you to have that surroundings during these times?
It was very much so important, even prior to all of that, even in just working on passing the bar. Like, it's not, I can't say that, I was so positive and had faith in myself sometimes, because sometimes faith gets shaky. And sometimes I was looking for someone to like agree with me, like, yeah, this is looking like it's impossible. And they're like, no, you got it. And so, like, even when you don't have faith in yourself, those people, that circle, can give you what you need in that fuel to keep going. And you can't do it alone. Like, nothing in life, nobody's successful. Even if, people at the top, there's a team. Whether it's a business team or emotional support system, there's always a team. So that was very important, because I wouldn't have been able to keep going without family, let alone now having just different levels of community and support.
Mm, I love it. Good. I appreciate it. People are listening and people are in the mind space of, do I stop? Do I go? Do I do it myself? Do I need a community? So I want to make sure that we go ahead and, kind of check all those boxes for them, for those that may not know. But I also want to talk about, because we've talked about a lot of success. It seems like you have a lot of success, a lot more success on its way. Because I can see the mindset and
I
the
feel
drive
that.
that you
Yeah.
have, for sure. So we're going to go ahead and speak that into existence. She has a lot of success on the way. All
Yes.
right, people. But let's talk about, what are some of the struggles that you've also encountered. I mean, going through school is not easy. All right, people go to school. Some people may either quit too early. You had a change in your major, right? Was that
Yeah.
an early change, or was that like, when did that
Yeah.
change happen for you?
In college, yeah, that was early. That was
Early
like
change.
registration. That was like registration. They're like, okay, this course, we just need to tell you that you have to. I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, but you can go undecided. Okay, great. I'll go undecided.
All right. Okay. So, what are some of the struggles that you may have experienced then through the time that you actually committed to the degree that you're in and that you've
Yeah.
graduated with? What are some of the struggles you've encountered from that time?
Are we talking about law school
I
or
mean, it could be life. I mean, a
college?
lot of, because we all go
Um,
through something, right? What are those struggles that
we
may
all
have
go
led
through
you to think
something.
that I should go a different route? Maybe this ain't it for me.
It wasn't easy. Well, I'll talk in particularly about law school. Law school is not easy. Like, they tell you in orientation, and it's an auditorium full of, fresh face looking lost students. And they tell you, look to your left, look to your right. 3 years from now on graduation, somebody's not going to be here, and they mean it. And in the first semester is dropping off. It teaches you, it breaks you down just to build you back up. Doesn't matter how smart you are. In college, you can see people with 4.0s not be able to make it through the first semester, first year. So it's scary. And being able to, you doubt yourself, like, am I able to do this? Can I understand and apply the law and study this and be tested in the way that they're studying? I mean, they're teaching us to study, and it makes you doubt yourself. Like, am I capable? And even in my first year, one of my really good friends to this day, she's like a sister to me. I think she saw that in me my first semester, and she's like, we had a test that day. She was trying to talk to me, and I was kind of zoned out. She's like, come here before class starts, and she takes me to an empty room. We don't say much, much words. This is not a friend of mine at this point. This is just someone I sit next to. She goes, I can see that you're nervous. I just want to pray with you real quick. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
And I needed that. And my friend Chanel, shout out to Chanel. And so we prayed, and she just spoke over me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, she didn't know how badly I needed that. And just to feel in that moment, it's a competition. It's Law school is a competition, unfortunately. And so you don't expect anyone there to, be a support system, because you're just trying to do better the next person so that you're not on the bottom. And moments like that hit home. And, to come find out, like, she's like my sister to this day. And yeah, I'm proud of her. She's proud of me. So even in those small instances of just having doubt, you never know who God's going to send your way to kind of just give you a little message that, like, you're where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you one to pour into others?
Oh, absolutely.
I asked that
I'm my
question.
biggest clients cheerleader. I sometimes I get so hype on the phone, and you have to gauge. Certain clients are very calm and temperate, so I'm like, okay, relax. So when I find one that's really hyper, I'm like, yes, I'm. This is our business. Like I'm a part of this journey too,
Yeah.
and I just want them to do great because me helping them protect their brand is me living out my dream and what I want to do in life. So I get super excited and yeah, if there's anything I can do, any group that I can add you to, add you to my story. You came out with a new product. Oh yeah, I'm part of the team. They're part of my team. So if anyone needs their service or product, that's how I look at it. Like, why not? It's a blessing for
I
me to be
I
doing what
asked the question because
I'm.
so many times already through this interview, you told me how somebody has done something for you. Somebody has done something for you,
Yeah, yeah.
without you probably looking for it, right?
Hmm.
But it speaks
Hmm.
volume for those that may wonder, how does somebody get all these blessings? And it's because you continue to bless somebody else. So it just comes in full
Yeah.
circle. So I
Oh,
just, I
yeah.
just wanted to put that out there. It's like, listen,
I like. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that was good.
For
That's good
me,
stuff.
like I told myself, I was like, Lord, as long as I pass the bar, like this is so bad. But I was like, I don't care if my firm does really great or really poorly. If you got me there, that's all I need, and I'll be fine and content. Obviously now I don't feel that way. That was just my desperation to get that. And for me, it's like, what does that cost me to do something kind to someone else? Whether it's in business or just everyday life, like, it's a blessing to be, like I said, I feel blessed to be doing what I enjoy and what I want to do. And for all the people who have supported me, that really keeps me going. I have four big brothers, and the love they have for me and just wanting to see me do great, that's extra encouragement. I want to make them proud. At the same time, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So, like, no, it costs nothing to be kind. It costs nothing to share a post. Like, I share stuff to people that follow me. Okay, your business owner, follow me back and sharing it, whether you become a client or not. Like, it costs nothing because you never know who that may help, and you never know if that person may really need that client at that time, and someone reaches
Mhm.
out. You just never
Nice. I love it. Yeah, no, for sure. I sense the positivity in you, girl. I do. I definitely do.
know.
Have you had any struggles? I know you're new into the business of having your own firm, but has there been any struggles at that moment of building the business that you probably didn't expect? Because maybe there's somebody out there that want to take that same route that you want to take
Right.
and do their own business.
Oh, you can't expect every month to be the same. You can't expect everyone to hop on every special or discount or anything that you don't have. And I had to kind of realize that and be okay with that. So those are kind of like the things that you don't expect, because you're just like, this is just obvious. Like, yeah, they should take advantage of that. I should have a great month this month and another great month the following. Like, it doesn't work like that. In entrepreneurship, it's never the same every day, let alone every month. So you have to be able to stick that out and still be confident in yourself to say, like, okay, I'm still gonna put 100% effort in, and it's gonna fall in place. This year hasn't been easy for me, but I feel like the last few months, God is placing the right people in my life to kind of set up next year. So sometimes you gotta be patient to know that, okay, if things aren't going my way, but look at the blessings around you. Look at the people that are being placed in your life. Look at the conversation that you're having, and kind of see like the potential in that, and how that is going to set you up for the next phase of your business. So that's kind of where I'm at it, and I'm just excited for like 2023.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Listen, you got it. You definitely got it. Definitely, you're just so motivated and so passionate about it. I think that's key. So did you look back at yourself? So let's really put yourself in these shoes. So you go
Mhm.
back and you think about the girl that started this journey,
Mhm.
really not knowing what the end goal was.
Mhm.
What do you tell that young girl,
Mm.
knowing where you're
Stop
at
stressing.
today?
Stop stressing.
Stop stressing.
Stop. It's easier said than done, but like, it's gonna happen. I would just tell her it's gonna happen, but you need to go through the journey, and you can't do anything any different as far
Yeah.
as like, because when I look back, I'm like, if I would have known, sometimes you need to not know, because that push that desire is what's going to get you to the other side. So I probably wouldn't even tell myself that you're going to get to where you want to be at. I just be like, stop stressing, do what you need to do, and you'll reap the benefits of that, and just have faith in that. And I'd probably leave it at that. So it would still be unknown, but it'd be a positive statement. Because had I not had that fire and desire and like be pissed off at the bar, this is what I called it during my season. I'm like, I'm pissed off at the bar. Like if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have gotten, to this place. You get complacent when I say you might get complacent and not do things exactly the same if you know the blessing is coming.
I love it. No, yeah, people, like you said, people want to know the answer, but if you
Mm-hmm.
got everything handed to you, do you accept it the same way? And
Right.
I think you're like, no, I wouldn't have accepted the same way. I needed to go through all these different, emotions and the roller
Mm-hmm.
coasters and the ups and the downs and the wanting to give up to now you're here and you're doing what you've always kind of dreamt of, right? At
Yeah.
least in the moment where you were
Yeah.
there on registration day and say, oh yeah, this ain't it. But we're able to see something else,
Right.
that's cool. That's cool. So you
Mm-hmm.
said you come from a family of four brothers, is that correct? Four
Yes.
other brothers?
There's four older brothers, an older sister, and then I have step siblings. Yeah.
Nice. So big
Yeah.
family.
Big
Oh,
family. I'm the
yes.
baby. Big family.
That's
Hmm.
good. So you have definitely a good support system.
Yeah.
Um, how important is it for you now to be in the shoes that you're in to make a um just be an example for those that follow?
Mm. You know what's so funny? Even with my cousins and like younger cousins close to my age, they always tell me, they're like, "We're just so proud of you. You motivate us." And I'm like, "This has been a struggle. What are you motivated by?" Like, they're like, "No, the fact that you didn't give up, you stayed consistent." Some of my cousins who are around my age, they're going through college and just trying to get that college degree under their belt. They're like, "No, you stuck with it, and that's motivating enough." And I'm not, you're going through it, you're not trying to be motivating, you're just
Mhm.
going through your process. So unintentionally, the people around me are motivated just by the journey. And I guess now as I get deeper in my career and can talk about like the journey in more depth, with each interview, maybe it'll encourage other people to kind of just stay the course. But I feel like, during that time I had a moment, I'm like, what else would I do with my life? What else would I go to school for? And there, or would I go to school and get another degree and do something else? There really wasn't anything. And it came to point, I'm like, I guess God doesn't want me to be happy. And I'm like, that's not true. Because I'm like, nothing else would make me happy. So if in the pits of your stomach, and if you wake up and nothing else will bring you joy, you kind of gotta, what else are you gonna do? Be miserable or stick with it and kind of just go through the journey of trying to get your dream,
Yeah.
get that goal accomplished. Because the other, the other option for me was, I was like, I don't want to be miserable because anything else would make me miserable. Like I'll wake up on Mondays. People, some people have jobs and they hate it. Mondays, I love Mondays. Let's
Yeah.
go. It's another week for me to accomplish my goals. I
Yeah.
never get it 100%, but it's another week for me to accomplish my goals. So like, I love that. I don't work doesn't stress me, and I'm at that place where I'm really happy with it. Yeah.
And that's what's motivating, Marine. I mean, I sit here and I listen to you. Seems like you just recently kind of started this journey.
Hmm.
You're a woman, right? A strong woman of color that is probably, as you said, you're in a very competitive market that is probably dominated by men.
Yeah.
But you're making a difference, and someone that gets to see you, no matter if it's family or somebody that may be watching this interview, they're
Hmm.
just excited to know that you never gave up because there's those that you said day one at orientation, look to your left, look to the right. Somebody there gave up.
Yeah.
Somebody there couldn't make it, and you did make
Hmm.
it. So no, I'm just motivated to know the story that you took on a risk, you took a
Yeah.
leap of faith and say, hey, I'm not gonna work for anybody. I'm capable of doing this by who I am and the knowledge that I've taken in and I've invested in myself, and there's no one's going to stop me, on this journey. So, I mean, take these flowers while people are giving this to you because it's really important for you to
Thank you.
take that, um, but also go back and think to yourself, like, man, look who I was
Mm.
and look who I am.
Yeah.
Whether it was a year ago, 2 years ago, and you talk about
Yeah.
2023, you'll look back at 2022 and think to yourself, like, man,
Yeah.
it came and left so fast. And
Mhm.
look where I got to. You know, some
Yeah.
people don't make it a first year in entrepreneurship. People want
Right.
to do it and people think it's easy. However, when you're in there and you're putting in the work, there's
Mhm.
times that you may not sleep because you don't know how you're gonna eat the next day, or how am I gonna pay these bills the next day.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to have you here, and that's why Content Creators Experience has put this together, is really to provide people with that knowledge and the background of somebody like you that may want to go into law school, that is a woman just like yourself.
Mhm.
And that's what we're doing, is empowering other women, right? So I'm
Yeah.
happy that you do have these girl cousins and hopefully these friends that look at you and say, man, like, girl, you did it.
Yeah.
Even though you don't got everything together, that doesn't mean anything. You haven't given
Mhm.
up, and that's huge. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people will take that easy route and just give up. The hard part of life is never giving up, even when you want to. All right,
Right.
even when things are not going your way.
Right.
So I appreciate it. Now, what are some of the things that you plan with your business? Like, are there anything that you goals that you have for the 2023? I think it's important to put that out there and manifest it, right? So you can go back to this interview one day and say, I said that. Look at that. I said that right there. So is there anything that you have in mind, or something that you want to speak into existence at this moment?
Hmm. Let's see. And I do believe in that because, funny enough, last year around this time, my goal was I'm like, I want to speak at someone's event. I'm like, I hate public speaking. That's what I want to do. So not only did I speak at one event, I spoke at two, one of them being content creators. And now I actually have my own event coming up. As crazy as that may seem, that was not on my radar. I just wanted to speak at someone else's event, not have my own. So like, you never know the power of your words. Next year, I just want to be able to help more entrepreneurs, have more opportunities for them to be able to not only gain the information, but come up with different ways to make it cost efficient and just be able to work with them. And so I do want to expand my brand and network more and expand my clientele, get more into the entertainment field of it. But that's really it. I just want to grow. I want to benefit and maximize the push that I feel like is happening right now and kind of just see that explode in 2023. So I'm just waiting for like the harvest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love everything you said. There's just one thing that I want you to remember.
Uh-huh.
It's not what I want to, it's what I'm going to do. You want to go ahead
Ooh,
and speak it. You know what I mean? When you want,
going to. You're
you're
right.
going to do,
Let's
you're
keep
going to
the
go ahead
journal.
and speak that out there. I think it's important that we speak
Yeah.
that and say, this is what I'm going to do, that you believe
Right.
it. The same way you believe that you'll be here today. The
Yeah.
same way, we have these ideas. We have to really believe and not just say, I want to do things, because I want to do things could be put on the back burner. I'm going to
Mhm.
do something. Your mindset gets to that point.
I love
So
You're right.
just
Absolutely
take
right.
that from this. Take that little nugget from you
Yes.
today, right? But no, this is dope. This is dope. You said you have an event coming up
I
that
do.
you never even dreamt of, but you said,
Yes.
I want to get uncomfortable and I want to do a speaking gig, and God has blessed you with this opportunity to do your own thing. Talk to me
Right.
about
Be
it. What is
careful what
that?
you ask for.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I'm going to have an event to where I go into more in depth about the services and how they benefit you with your business, and also answer all of your business legal questions. So whether it be trademark questions, copyright, contracts, LLCs, how to properly run your business so that you can benefit from your LLC. That will be on December 14th at PS Social in Miami. So it's at 6 p.m. Promotion for that, it will be coming out soon, but just mark your calendars for now. And yeah, I would look forward to meeting everyone, and come question ready. Whatever it is that you want to ask, I'll be there. Ask away.
love it. And what made you want to go and create this type of event? Is it that you've encountered entrepreneurs that may not have this all together?
That's a great question. So the event that I went to where I was a speaker for Creators Connect, I won a raffle. So the raffle afforded me, see when you put yourself in different places, you never know what's
Yeah,
gonna circulate it to. So I won a raffle that gave me the space for 6 hours. And so I'm speaking with the owner, Sharif, he was like, yeah, you need to have your own event because the 20 minutes that you went up there and everyone was locked in, we need to go more in depth. And so I was like, he's
let's
like, yeah,
go.
get ready to be
Yes.
uncomfortable. So yeah, it's happening. So that's really how it happened.
Yeah, shout out to Content Creators EXP, man. I speak to Evelyn, I speak to Cassandra, and I speak to that team over there. And I think this is and I'm speaking it to existence. It will be a whole conference that they'll be putting together at some point. Right now, they just getting everything and putting it
Mhm.
together. But they have this gala coming up now on the 17th, where all the creators get to come together. I
Mhm.
just got off the phone with Cassandra a little earlier today. They're doing something for Art Basel.
Yep.
And I think it's dope that they're able to put these people in a room that to
Yeah.
network. As you
I
mentioned,
agree.
you didn't know what was going to happen when you got there, and
Mhm.
maybe as you were getting there, like, do I really want to go? And this blessing has come out of it. Like, it's
Yeah.
so important. You mentioned it before early in this interview. It is so important, one, that you get uncomfortable, two,
Mhm.
that you start to surround yourself with like-minded people, right?
Mhm.
That community aspect of things.
Yep.
So that's amazing. I didn't know that story. So I'm definitely
Yeah.
have to put this out. Give it to Consecrated
So it
Experience.
wasn't like
This
I
is
was
good.
like, I want an event. And I was like, I just want to speak and get my little 20 minutes
Wow.
to sit down. They're like, no, you won this raffle. You'll be having your own event. I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So,
That's
but yeah, I
good.
look forward to it. I look forward to it. And
Yes,
I just
that's
got
good.
so much positive feedback from everyone. They're like, yo, we want more. So that's great that you're having that. So yeah, it'll be really,
Marine, you're expert at what you do, right? And a lot of times
yeah.
we may not think that because there's so much
Mhm.
for us to truly learn in the game.
Yeah,
But you know more than somebody else, and that's what makes you the pro,
yeah,
compared to somebody else. So keep that in mind as well, man. Like, that's why
yeah.
people were so, in tune with what you were saying. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure being there, you're really going to educate a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it seems like I always have these three E's: educate, entertain, and elevate. And I think you got all three of them, believe it or
Thank
not.
you. I love
Yeah,
that.
for sure. All right, Marie, we are coming up to your time. I know your time is so valuable. But if people wanted to get to know more about you, what's your Instagram? Where can people actually find you so that they can go ahead and hit you up if they have any questions?
My Instagram, and you can DM me. My Instagram is attorney ATTORNEY .Morine. That's MORINE .Etienne. ETIENNE. But once you put attorney Maureen, I'll pop up. So that's
All
how you
right.
can find me. I'm always dropping business gems, always supporting other entrepreneurs. So, if you follow me, have any questions, yeah, I'm here to help.
Perfect. And I'm going to put the website down at the bottom as well for you guys that may be interested as well. You can also visit her at the website. We've had some people tuning in here on Facebook. I appreciate you guys, Mr. James. I know James always dropping gems as well. So I appreciate you showing love here. And Maureen, if you can leave one young girl
Mm-hmm.
with some advice, that is looking at you that would maybe hear this one day, what is the advice that you leave her with?
Um, Stick with it. Follow your passion. Follow what makes you happy. Because when I chose this field and talking to other lawyers, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna make money." I didn't care how much it made. I just wanted to do an area law that made me happy. And so, that's a good positive thing that it's, lucrative area law. But
Yeah.
when you follow your passion, the money will come. So just follow your passion, stick with it, surround yourself with a great support system, lean on them when you need to. There's so many times where I wanted to hold things in. People are like, no, just let it out. Like, you're not bothering me. Like, utilize your support system and just stick with it and you'll be fine.
I love it. Maureen, you know how we do things sometimes and we don't know what's on the other side? Can
Uh-huh.
you read the comments?
Can I read the comments?
Yeah.
Ah.
We don't know who's watching, right?
I would
James is
love to connect with you as well.
James. He
That's
says, "Thank
sweet.
you, friend. You walking, James." James, man, actually, the dude is a hustler. The dude is a grinder. Also has his own little podcast as well. I want to say little, actually. Let me take that back. His own big podcast that he's been working on, and someone else that likes to just feed back into the community and feed back into others. So definitely a huge connect here, and hopefully to see you
Yeah.
guys do a lot more. But Marine, look, this you've been doing this only for a little bit of time. I promise you that is the next time I see you and talk to you, you're at a whole different level. And I'm just excited that I got to be a part of it so early on,
Thank you.
in this journey with you. This is Know Your Worth TV. I asked that one little question at the end of every show. What was that know your worth moment, Morine, that you felt this is it. This is what I want to do for life. There's nothing else that I would prefer doing than being an attorney and helping others in, with their business and entertainment. What was that know your worth moment?
Probably my first client. I was so nervous. She didn't know that she was my first client. Super nervous. I was myself. Her energy on the other line and her excitement kind of like fed my energy and calmed me down. And once I heard her story, I'm like, this is fun. This is what I want to be doing. So that was the moment. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. When work is fun, when those conversations are fun,
Yeah.
yeah, and they forget that they're talking to a lawyer. Yeah, that's it for me. It's
Absolutely. You are right. Listen, if you're having too much fun, I don't even think it's considered work. It's just doing what you love. So thank
exactly.
you, Marine, for your time. You guys know where you can find her. She's definitely willing to take on new clients. So make sure that you guys go ahead, reach out to her. Um, Thank you guys. Thank you, Marine, for coming. Thank you to the Content Creators EXP for being able to put this together. Marine, I've had a lot of fun, man. And I don't know if
Me
I'm gonna make it to
too.
the gala on December the 17th. If I am, I look forward to seeing you. For you guys that are
Me too.
watching, they are hosting a gala in Miami, December the 17th, where you see Maureen in person. She has her event coming up, so make sure that you guys tap in for that as well. Because this is what you got here in just an hour time, just one-on-one. But what happens when she's in a room full of other creators, other people that she can also bring to the table to also pour into you? It has been a pleasure, guys. Thank you guys for watching Know Your Worth TV. And if you're still here, make sure that you do subscribe, because we have so much dope content, so much dope interviews with just everyday normal people that just love what they do. My name is Efrain, guys. This is Know Your Worth TV, and I'll see you on the other side.